Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University at Marvel Zero 2025. There was some, there was a couple of good things about this comic book, but for the most part, no. I'm just now getting my hands on this book. Um, I'm going to review it just because there's some stuff out there and because I think it's relevant for what I'm about to start dealing with tomorrow, today. It'll be today by the time the video comes out. Because there's some Chip Zdarsky stuff in here. And that's going to be important considering my favorite character of all time. This is only my second favorite character. Captain America's coming out, written by Chip Zdarsky. So I'm gonna try and get a feeling of what's gonna happen here, right? Because I am genuinely nervous, right? Very few Captain America books come out that are worth any salt, all right? What we do have here is three stories. It really feels like four, but Strange New World, from Fantastic Four by Ryan North and Humberto Ramos. Edgar Delgado does the color art, and VC's Joe Caramagna on letters. Fantastic Four and the X Men were created by Stanley and Jack Kirby, and because there's X Men in here also, giant size X Men. It's called The General by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, both writing. Eban Coelho on art, Brian Reber doing color art, and VC's Clayton Cowles doing letters. And then there's one called Popularity Contest with people, Dead Vereen and Wolverpool, which is really weird, by Chip Zdarsky doing the art and the writing, and Joe Caramagna doing the letters. Listen, this Fantastic Four was fantastic. I enjoy. Well, anyway, it was fantastic nonetheless. It was a bunch of kids who do some kind of a stupid demonic ritual to try and summon people, but they're kids and it's a sleepover and they're trying to enjoy themselves and da 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 whatever. And it's so stupid. It's such a stupid idea. And then, motherly Susan Storm is like, "Oh, were you kids doing a demonic ritual just like when we were kids?" And like, oh my God, are you serious? You used to do demonic rituals? Yeah, I guess Ouija boards. Girls like doing Ouija boards, right? This is why boys shouldn't hang out with girls when you're so young, because they're going to do stupid things. And then they become demonic possessed later on, and then you wind up marrying them and then realize what's going on. It's somewhat of a joke. Don't do demonic rituals. Um, this was really fun. I enjoyed this. I really loved seeing Humberto Ramos back, and if he's there, then you usually wind up seeing Edgar Delgado with him. Humberto is an amazing human being. When I met him up here in Canada, he came out like he recognized me. He came out and he gave me a big hug because I've always complimented his art and whatnot, and like he saw me. And I wish I understood Spanish better to really understand him, but he didn't have any translator there at the moment. It was a Thursday night, so he was, yeah, back before COVID. We used to be able to do an extra day, like a preview day on stuff, which is actually the same day I was able to spend most of my time hanging out with. Why do I have Neil Peart stuck in my head? Totally different guy, Neil Adams, for crying out loud. So yeah, that was an incredible Thursday at the comic convention here in Toronto for that. But I'm telling you, Humberto is an amazing human being. And I know a lot of people don't like, this is important for the comic book. I know a lot of people don't like Humberto's art because they only really know him from Spider-Man. Yes, there were many times when he made the feet a little bit, a little bit weird, right? It's hard drawing feet. I know. But this guy particularly, a lot of times the reason why he drew the feet like that was to show the speedy motion, because when you're holding onto a web way up here and you're spinning, what's the part that's going to be, appearing to move the fastest, that actually is moving the longest distance, right? It's going to be the feet. So that's the reason why he did those things. I understood that immediately when I saw it, and he was appreciative that, I recognized those things. In this, there's no need for feet to be moving fast. So the art is mwah, it's magnificent. It's incredible. It is the Humberto Ramos that I wish all of you guys could see all the time. You get to see it in this comic book. Man, I love seeing that. This was really good. The story was fun by Ryan North. You got to see the Fantastic Four dealing with a bunch of dumb kids from a different dimension. It was really enjoyable. I liked it. The general, giant size X-Men, Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly doing the writing. And again, Iban Coelho, who is just top notch. This guy is top shelf art. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic. Brian Weber doing the colors. I really like this book a lot. This is um it's a weird kind of time frame for these guys to be in, right? Because Thunderbird is there. Um the X-Men all around and trying to go against what's his name? Cyclops. This was so much fun. This was so much fun because, mind you, these X-Men are not trained. These are the new X-Men. And seeing these guys, it's like it came out right after Giant Size X-Men. Like it was the part 2 to the original Giant Size X-Men before issue number 94 came out where Thunderbird died, right? So these are a whole bunch of X-Men where Wolverine's the only one who's got any real training, right? But he's still a wild card because it's freaking Wolverine. He doesn't know how to work in a team. And then all these other guys who don't know how to work in a team. And some of them who just, in general, don't know how to fight. And then here's Cyclops, the steadfast professional who doesn't just need these optic beams to blast you. Oh, and I really hope Gail Simone reads this comic book also, because there's a part where Thunderbird's like, do you feel that? There's no heat, just pure force. Anybody who pays attention to Gail Simone on Twitter knows she loves making that joke all the time. So whose heat beams are stronger, Cyclops's or Superman's? Like, okay, lady, you're going to get yourself in trouble in the comic book world. Don't do this. I love Gail Simone. I love the silly interactions that she has on Twitter. But I'm telling you, this was really good. Spoiler, all right? Spoiler for it. Cyclops, of course, wins. As well he should. Around a bunch of untrained X-Men trying to get them to work together. Does this kind of give a reason for Thunderbird to say, I don't listen to any man, and before he gets himself hurt? Yeah. Yeah, it actually fits really well. I loved this. Here's the part that I didn't love, all right? There's this popularity contest thing. See, there was another something in here also later on by, and actually, how do I get to it? Still not used to using these online type tools. There's a bunch of drawings in the back for the Spider-Man story in here, the John Romita Jr. art. Actually, wait, this isn't John Romita Jr. Okay, so there's this one thing, what's going on in Spider-Man between Spider-Man and the new gold-suited Venom and Eddie Brock as Carnage by Joe Kelly, Al Ewing, and Charles Soule. All three of them doing the writing. That's crazy. Oh, because they're all different. They're all different stories. I don't like that I got the hiccups. I apologize. Cafu doing the art here, at least, and Frank Darmarta doing the colors. This is good. The art is fantastic. The story, yeah, let's go. I'm down with it. We are Venom. This story here before the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #1. This lets me understand why Miles Morales is looking for his kid's sister. Like, what the hell is going on here? Why, he gets this card from the maker. And I actually remember seeing this a while ago. Right, something like this, which is why I wasn't completely lost in how the kid was going. Also, there's a black version of Invincible here, which is a very strange crossover. And I have a feeling Image Comics is going to have a problem with this. But this Spider-Man thing here with the Lady Deathstrike type character. I don't see anywhere where it says the art is done by or anything like that, but this was, let's be realistic, this was clearly John Romita Jr. and it sucked. I'm very disappointed in this comic book. Art by Jonas Schreff. It's hard to believe that. Well, in that case, Jonas Schreff. Oh, that's for the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Okay, that's what it is. Cody Ziegler and Dennis Camp doing the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion thing. Wow, I hate how they do this stuff. Like, If you're going to have all these things, then do all these things together. Anyway, so here we go. Yeah, Joe Kelly doing the writing for this When Death Strikes, Amazing Spider-Man, and John Romita Jr. on pencils. Scott Hanna, sorry you were not able to save the terrible pencils of John Romita Jr. And Marty Gracia, you were not able to save the terrible pencils of John Romita Jr. with your colors. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. Joe Caramagna from VC on letters. No, I did not like this in the slightest bit. I didn't think it was funny. Listen, no matter how well a book is written, if John Romita Jr. is doing the pencils on it, I have zero interest in it. I don't know how it could ever be considered good modern day. I get the idea of friendship and loyalty, all right? This Lord Deathstrike as opposed to Lady Deathstrike and the conversations with Wolverine. This could have been fun. It really could have been, but there's just giant boxy pencils. In my mind, a disappointment to at least the work of John Romita Jr.'s father, right? Absolutely terrible. I understand the value of friendship or the idea of you've always got a job here and stuff like that. Maybe just have him here as an advisor, but let's be realistic. The guy, sorry, I'm going to say this hopefully one last time. The idea that John Romita Jr. would jump up and say on Twitter and whatever platform he's on, hey, I know you guys don't like the art that much, the way I used to do it back in the day, but I don't get paid by how good my art is. I get paid by how many books I put out. Yeah. Jack Kirby was under the exact same understanding, except his final conclusion was to make the greatest art he possibly could, and it's legendary, and Marvel is built off of that. You have decided to just cheapen your art in order to get your books out faster, which is why I have boycotted all John Romita Jr. books. Understand that my impression of everything John Romita Jr. would be that the whole book is just not worth getting. It will always be the case. There will never be any writer, I don't care who it is, I don't care if Stan Lee came back from the dead and wrote something. I don't care if Jim Shooter, God rest his soul, also came back from the dead. We just lost Jim Shooter. On my Mount Rushmore of Marvel with Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and Steve Ditko. And there's Jim Shooter on that same exact Mount Rushmore with these other three men. And we just lost him on Monday. Absolutely breaks my heart. He's a man who I called friend. There were plenty of people who knew him way better than me. I get it. But the guy would answer my emails. You know what I'm saying? The guy would talk to me. He recognized me when I saw him at the Comic-Cons and stuff like that. Incredible human being. The conversations we had, everything. Even before I got to meet him for the very first time half a dozen years ago up northern Canada. Well, northern Ontario at least. I always understood that there was nobody better than him, you know? He saved the modern Marvel era. Anyway, even if he came back from the dead and wrote one last book, if John Romita Jr. were on it, I would say that it's a horrible book. And it's as simple as that. Yeah, that's my bandwagon. And if more people want to jump on it, awesome. It's not that I want Romita to be fired. It's that I want him to improve his art. I want him to stop treating us like we're just a meal ticket. That's a shame. Anyway, I'm going to get down from my soapbox because that soapbox has always belonged to Stan Lee. And I will talk to all you guys later. Love and peace. And yeah, I believe this was supposed to be a free comic book day thing. So get it if you want it. Might be fun. Most of the stuff in here was fun. But man, this John Romita Jr. put such a horrible taint on this. And more comics to come later. Talk to you later. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.